Good morning, my dear students and listeners at home. My name is Mrs Afoma from Biology Department of St. Charles College, Onitsha. I welcome you all to today's online teaching of St. Charles College, Onitsha. And the subject we are looking at today is biology, and the topic is food production and storage. Before we go on, let us look at the specific objectives. By the end of this lesson, it is expected that you be able to 1. List the factors that affect food production. 2. State different ways of improving crop yield. 3. Enumerate causes of food wastage. 4. Outline different methods of preserving food. And finally, give examples of food preserved by each method. Okay, food production and storage. We all know that all living things need food, especially man. And all these food we eat on daily basis, many times a day, come from crops and livestock. The crops are the food crops like rice, cassava, mango, and the rest. And the livestock are the farm animals like the cow, the cattle, the sheep, poultry, and others. And you know that human population keep on increasing on daily basis. So, this required corresponding increase in food production and storage so that there will be no time that we say that we don't have enough food. So, there will be no food shortage. Now, there are certain factors that affect food production and storage, and these factors are as follows. 1. Food production. 2. Food preservation. 3. Food storage. And finally, food spoilage or wastage. Now, under food production, we know that if we produce our food, if we take care of the crops and plant them as is necessary, as is supposed, we will get a good yield. Now, there are ways of improving on crop yield. 1. Planting improved varieties of seeds and grains that give high yield. Now, we have lots of improved varieties of seeds and grains. You go and look for those types. You can find them in agric shops. You buy them and plant them. They germinate, they grow very fast, and they also start fruiting very fast. The second one, keeping our crops free from disease and pests by adequate pest and disease control. The third one, doing what we call selective breeding of crops and animals to get organisms with high breed vigor. Here, when we get two organisms that have two good qualities, we mate them together so that their resultant offspring, which we now call hybrid, will have those qualities of both parents in one organism. Then, another one is planting pest and disease-resistant varieties of crops. There are some crops that disease and pests don't attack easily, so we look for those types and plant them. Then another one is adopting improved farming techniques or practices, which include use of machines instead of using hoes. You use machine, you apply adequate tillage practices, then you also apply timeliness of farm operations, like knowing the time you need to clear the ground, till the ground, plant your seed, apply fertilizer, weed, and then harvest. If you do all this, your crops will do well. Also, supplying water when there is not enough water through irrigation. Then the government come in here. They have to, the government effort through making policies that are agriculture friendly also help to increase the production of food, because the farmers will be helped there. The farmers will be given grants and loans which will help them to apply any method they want. These friendly policies like Fadama is a very good one. Also Operation Feed the Nation and the rest of them. Causes of food wastage. After harvesting rich crops, we have abundance of them. If we don't take care, most of them will be spoiled. There are certain things that bring about wastage of this food, which include inadequate or poor storage facilities. After harvesting your crops and you don't have enough storage facilities or good storage facilities, like there are some crops that need cold environments, like the fish, the meat, perishable vegetables. If you don't have the cold room where you will store them, they will get spoiled. There's something like grains or legumes. If you, after processing them, drying them very well, you're supposed to store them away in something like silos or airtight containers so that they are not attacked by pests. Then we have another one, the damages caused by pests and pathogens to our livestock and crops. In fact, they cause lots of damages. Sometimes in the storeroom, you'll find bags and bags of rice and beans being infested by weevils. And all of them are food wastage, because nobody will like to go to the market to buy the infested crops. Nobody will buy them, and that is a big waste to the farmers. We have natural disasters like drought. If there is no rainfall for a long time, it will kill the crops you have planted. If you have excessive rain also, it is a problem, because it will form big flood, which will now flow into the farmland and carry away our crops, or even enter the storeroom to destroy most of the bags of food we store there. Then we have inadequate, careless, or untimely harvesting of crops. This will also lead to damaging of the crops. Yes, there is time for everything, time for planting and time for harvesting. If you don't harvest on time, the pests will enter your crop. Then you carry those pests from farmland into the storeroom, and they will just continue their marvelous work there, at the end of which you have a lot to lose. Then, inadequate processing facilities. Well, we don't have adequate processing facilities like machines that will process some of the food we have produced. Something like after harvesting cassava, and you harvested plenty of it, you need to convert some to cassava flour, to garri, and others. If there is no place where you can carry out that thing, the food will be wasted. Then inadequate transportation facilities. After harvesting and you don't have a transport means through which you will take them to the market, that will lead to loss in the farm village. Then lack of market, the same thing. If you are not able to take those things to the market where the demand will be high for you to sell and make gain, you will have a big loss, because some of them will be wasted in that village. Then poor preservation of agricultural products, like the grains, when they are not properly dried and then you pack them inside the container, they will just get spoiled. Some of them will mucorize and then decay. Okay? Now, we look at some methods we will use in order to preserve our food and make them to store longer. They include salting. In this salting, when you apply salt on the surface, on the food you want to preserve, that salt will create environment of higher osmotic pressure on that food, so that when these microorganisms comes there, they will just kill the microorganism by dehydration, so they will not spoil the food. Also, this salting remove water or dehydrates the food, so that the environment is no more habitable for microorganisms. The type of food you store like this include meat, fish, and other ones. We look at drying method. In this drying, the essence is to remove excess water from the food. You dehydrate the food. You can dry by spreading your material, the crop, on the mat under the sun. You can allow hot air to pass through them. You can even dry in moderate oven. And this, after removing the water, makes the food uninhabitable for the microorganisms, and they will die. So the food you preserve like this are something like meat, fish. You can preserve plantain chips, yam chips, cocoyam chips, tomato, even pepper, grains. Okay? We look at smoking. Smoking is also another drying method, but this one you dry over the fire, and also it dehydrates the food and make the environment unfavorable for the microorganisms. And this smoke also contains chemicals that retard the growth of the microorganisms. They sort of poison their body so that they don't grow there. Examples of food you can preserve in this way include fish, meat, okra, tobacco, maize, and others. All right? Now we look at canning. In this canning, you first of all process your food. After processing it, you put it in a container and seal it, expelling the air, so that this prevents the microorganism from respiring. If there is any one that have entered, it cannot grow because it will not have oxygen to breathe. So we use this method in preserving milk, tomato, fish, beans. You'll be seeing all these things we use in making salad. You have sardine, tin meat, baked beans, and the rest of them. So they store well. They don't damage or waste. Then we look at refrigeration or freezing. In this one, we put the food inside the fridge under very low temperature. So this low temperature or cold environment makes the microorganism not to be able to survive, because both their respiration and their activities are hindered. They cannot survive here, so they cannot cause food spoilage, and your food will store long time. You can preserve your food like fruits, vegetables, tomato, meat, and the rest. Then we have pasteurization method. This method, you heat the food to a very high temperature and then subject it to a rapid cooling, and then you can it. So subjecting food to this type of high temperature kills all the microorganisms. Thus, they are not there. They will not survive to cause food decay. So their food will store longer. You can use it to store milk, preserve your milk, the cheese, the beer, and the rest. Now, having gone through this lesson, I'm sure that you have listened well and gotten what I have taught you. So I want you to answer these questions, and then you submit them to my WhatsApp contact. The questions are: name 3 factors that affect food production. 2. State ways of improving crop yield. 3. Enumerate 4 causes of food wastage. 4. Outline 4 methods of food preservation. And 5. Give brief explanation of any 2 of them, and then give 2 examples each of the food prepared or preserved using the 4 methods. Answer the questions I've given you above and submit them through my WhatsApp contact 080 639 63478. I repeat, 080 639 63478. Okay, students, I hope you enjoyed the lesson. Thank you for listening. See you next week. Bye.